Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Marks Podcast YouTube channel. I am George Feast, joined always by my main man, Mr. Johnny Clash, and we have a very special guest today. He is our best bitch. You have heard him mentioned several times on the podcast. It is the ElderSpork. I don't know, we're using shoot names here today.
Spork's fine. Spork's good.
He's the Spork.
He is our reigning, defending, resident, all things Super Mario expert, mostly platforming, right? That's your specialty?
Absolutely. Any platformers that came through from Mario, I don't touch 3D because it gets a little too complicated for these old hands.
Okay, all right. But yeah,
George, I thought you were playing and not the demo, and I'm like, wow, you're doing really well.
No. This is the demo. I have yet to start. Here we go. You can tell because it's got the great music.
Oh, this is a fantastic soundtrack. This is the composer for this game actually also did Earthbound and Dr. Mario.
Oh.
So this is you now, not the demo, right?
This is me. I am actually playing now.
And little teaser here. Those are actually not Goombas.
They're Goombas.
Actually, in the pamphlet, when you got the game, they didn't edit the Japanese names to reflect the American names.
Ooh.
So what are they?
Whatever the Japanese name was, I had it in front of me and I lost it.
Oh. See, I don't like. This is my one gripe about this. It doesn't actually bounce like the typical Fire Flower does.
Yeah, they're like
you get one
balls.
bounce and then it shoots off into the abyss.
Well, it's not known as Fire Flower. It's actually a bouncing ball, and you can use it to collect the coins.
Oh, you can. Look at that. And only one can be on the screen at a time, apparently.
Yep.
How come every time I come out of a pipe, it looks like I'm on the same?
That takes two hits with the ball.
You gotta.
Yep. I remember that. I remember that from the childhood.
Hey, girl, is that a mushroom
There's
in your
the
pocket,
star.
or are you just?
And I love this star music. I think even though the original star music is iconic, this one sticks in my head all the time. I remember playing this so much as a child.
And there's 12 worlds, right?
12 levels.
Okay.
I think it's across four worlds.
Yeah. I did my research.
So in here, you've got the top and the bottom. The bottom just ends the level. If you go to the top, you get to play a bonus game where you can get power-ups or one-ups.
And that's what we're doing.
I like that. It's different for 1989. It's not the same old Mario stuff.
Let's say I have very fond memories of playing this because it actually
isn't to our roots with a ladder.
It actually looks visually, Mario looks like Mario. Even though they're not technically Goombas, there's a lot
Goombas.
There's a lot of visual similarities between the two established IPs of this, because this is technically we'll get into it, but this doesn't really. It's an official Mario release, but it's not canon storyline. I think.
It's Daisy, not Peach.
It does introduce the Mario Land series introduces a lot of characters that are still iconic in the Mario world today. Daisy, Wario. You wouldn't have Wario without Super Mario Land, the popularity at least. So,
and this spins off into Johnny Clash's favorite game,
Wario Land. I think Spork, were you? I played that on stream once. I think were you there?
I don't think I was actually there for that.
Someone was there.
I did have a friend who speedran that game, and I think it's the bull. I think it's the bull hat that you wear that you just blitz through everything. That's the speed technique in that game. Maintaining that is
a hard game, I imagine, to speedrun. It's not easy.
No, it's a real pain having to get the coins and all the stuff like that. I give them all the credit in the world for running it.
So my two big platformers on the original Game Boy were this, and do you remember Bonks? Bonks Adventure?
Right. I was a big Rayman Advance guy.
Rayman was a good series.
I played a lot of platformers as a kid. Obviously, Donkey Kong Country and Mario are the top. Bubsy was my jam back in the day.
Bubsy's good. Donkey Kong Country is actually the whole whole series of games is something that I cannot wait to play on this show.
Oh, I know Bonk's Adventure. I just looked this up. Okay, yep, I know exactly what this is.
Flintstone-looking kid.
The little bald caveman-looking guy. He gets different power. The play style actually is very similar. Oh, man, is very similar to like a Kirby or a Wario where you do get a bunch of different power-ups.
Yeah, that was kind of the popular platformer style back in the day.
So that actually reminded me of the Flintstones movie game for the Game Boy. Did anyone play that?
Oh, no.
The Flintstones movie game
was
for
certainly a game.
I think the Genesis. So I definitely played that one. That game is a game.
Hard, but fun.
Yeah, and the speed run's pretty cool on it too. It was featured in GDQ a couple years ago. So again, it's one of those ones I watched it, but I didn't. And just like your typical Mario, take out the baddie.
Hit that little button. Bridge is gone. Except the bridge doesn't actually go away.
We're not seeing this with a green screen.
This was the...
Thank you, Mario.
You're like, I've been here before. I know exactly what's going to happen.
Daisy.
Yep.
Bounce away, you Beetleborg.
Tricked. We got tricked, guys.
Oh,
and we get the bonus of, man, I'm loving the times too.
Get those lives when you need them. So now we are into the water world from this
Wally
one.
World?
I can't shoot the four worlds. I wish I had it in front of me. This one's based off of allegedly a lost continent in the Atlantic.
Oh, okay. Jumping fish got me. We're back again. Here we go.
Okay, so we have Birabudo Kingdom, Muda Kingdom, Eastern Kingdom, and Chai Kingdom.
And they're already showing what you can do with the system.
So this was the release title for Japan, right? And in America, ended up getting Tetris and Tennis.
Yeah, for Japan. This was going to be the pack-in title when you bought the Game Boy, but Nintendo thought Tetris would be more marketable to everybody.
Honestly, they were probably right.
Probably right. It is the most popular Game Boy game of all time.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Bup, bup, bup.
Crazy how simple it is and how it just became... Everyone just loves it.
I mean, how do you not love...
Oh,
no.
So,
choking.
One of the things, as far as gameplay goes, is how tight the controls are for Mario. He stops on a dime where the NES game, Super Mario World, there's a bit of a skid there. There's a little bit, you might slide off a ledge if you don't stop soon enough. But obviously they couldn't program that within the limitations, and
you can't run that. I remember. I always tried to as a kid.
So Mario, as a black and white character, actually just looks like Mickey Mouse from the neck down.
But does this not visually still look and feel like? I mean, I can only really talk about how it feels, but it's still very much.
I played a bunch today.
Looks like. I mean, in the moment, it actively feels like a Super Mario game.
Yeah, and even though we'll get into it later in the episode, even though this wasn't Miyamoto who did anything with this game at all, he was too busy with this brand new 16-bit console they were coming out with. It was still RD1, which is the development company for Nintendo, who made the Game Boy, also made this game. So the same people who were building the Game Boy were building this game at the same time. They had also worked with Miyamoto on the Super Mario game, so it's not like they didn't know how to make a Mario game.
Okay, so that makes sense. But
sometimes when, the head honcho is not there, you might feel a lot different about it, but...
Well, no, so all I can think about is how you... Oh, this is going to be rough.
First try, George. I believe in you.
Nope.
Oh, they go away.
The only thing I can think of is that, traditionally, when you go from standard main console platformer that people are familiar with, and then you get the standard Game Boy port, sometimes they can leave a little bit to be desired, where this felt, there are some things that you're like, it doesn't, maybe some of the movement is as traditional as you would used to be if you came back and played this now, having had Mario 3 and Super Mario World, but this still functions and feels like a Mario game, and you're getting this on a handheld, which is, I don't know. In my experience, there are some times where they kind of felt lacking.
Well, and the good thing, too, is with the Game Boy is you do have direct comparisons. They did come out with Super Mario Deluxe for the Game Boy Color later in the console life. And that game is just not fun. It's not fun. It's a condensed Mario that just looks bad and feels bad. Doesn't handle like how Super Mario Brothers should. So, we're probably going to cover this later in the episode. If you guys are already listened to the podcast, you already know this, but I'll say this. Shigeru Miyamoto loved this part of the game. They have the underwater sub and then the flying level at the end, which we're not going to see. Miyamoto actually wanted to do this for the original Super Mario Brothers, but they couldn't get it done technologically with the limitations they had at the time with the NES.
It is very cool. It is very different, and
way different than the underwater levels in the NES version.
Yeah, great job, George.
Thank you.
It's those nimble little fingers.
I have been known. I have been known to have them. Yeah, like I said, this is a game that I spent a lot of time playing as a kid.
I mean, at this point, you only have 6 more worlds to go, so maybe we can get to this, actually.
We really should have put a timer on this. We probably could have submitted George's first official speedrun.
It's all being recorded, so there is actually a timer on it.
Oh, okay, so we got to get an official clock timer on it for everything else, but last place, George, is 14 minutes and 47 seconds.
Oh, well, we're already at... Wow, even when I miss it, I still get the times too. According to this, it's already at 12 marks, but that's just on the recording.
Guys.
Hey, all you have to do is just submit it in your official speedrunner.
Well, you should do it for the podcast, for the whole podcast.
So,
this is Eastern Kingdom.
John, that could be fun for the future. Maybe we both try to submit a speedrun for this game.
I will do it. I told you I used to try to speedrun Super Mario Brothers on the NES. I would record it on a VHS tape and see how long I would take. And I'm convinced. Me and Spork had this conversation. I'm convinced it was like 8.5 minutes, but he said that was like impossible.
No. You said it was like 4.5 minutes, and I said that's actually physically impossible.
I did not say 4 minutes. I remember it being like 8.5 minutes, but it's also using like the warp pipes and knowing where to go, and that one that takes you all the way to the end.
Do you know what my time is?
Whoa!
What's your time? I forgot.
5 minutes and 3 seconds.
Sheesh.
That's
ridiculous because once you get to those harder levels.
I remember as a kid the what's it called? Is it Latiku who drops the spiny Koopas? Yes. That first time that I saw that ruined me. That and the sun level from was it Super Mario 3? Why did I jump? Was it Super Mario 3?
With the sun. The sun is a jerk.
With the sun. That, man, ruined me.
Whoa.
Yep, there's 3 of them. Oh, good job. They run back.
That's a lot of Geodudes coming at you.
Yeah.
So, those are your first 2 deaths so far, aren't they? Well, first 3.
There's 3. See, now we're getting into the rough levels here.
I think you would actually speedrun this really quick if you didn't collect everything.
Yeah.
Well, I also feel like that's not part of the...
Yeah.
That's definitely not a part of the speedrunning process.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're doing very well with it.
Oh, thank you.
Now this one, rock. There we go. Let's go, George.
Look at this guy.
Donut.
Wow.
So there are only 2 speedrun categories. There is any percent and then normal and hard mode, which I guess they consider the 100%, doing the twice through.
Twice through?
So once you beat this game, just like actually all the other Mario games, there is a much harder... it's the same game run through, just more difficult.
Oh, okay.
And you're at the end.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Still. There you go.
Bam.
Don't hesitate. Bam. There you go.
Nailed it. We struggled for a bit on this level. This level was a little challenging, but we made it. We made it through.
Daisy's waiting.
And actually, the world record is only about 10 months old.
Oh, wow. So that's fairly new.
I'm
times
impressed.
3. All right. This will be the last level. What do you say?
All right.
Sounds good. Watch out for them spiders. Those spiders were always the worst. That's where I died the most when I was a kid playing this game.
Oh! No!
Yep.
Should have seen that one coming.
The itsy bitsy Georgie.
I'd be curious a blind just speed run of this for me. I'd actually have to set up. I'd have to set up my SNES because I do have the Super Game Boy that I'd play it on.
Oh, the Super Game Boy.
Now, can you play on a keyboard? Is that allowed?
For the most part, let me pull up the rules right now because it's right here in front of me.
I actually found a lot of these games to be harder on the keyboard.
Yes.
So,
because with platformers, there is a certain degree of muscle memory that goes with it.
Bonk.
See, right. I feel like that's the other part that comes along with the speedrun is knowing what is the knowledge of knowing what.
I would have just ran right across those spikes without seeing them.
Knowing what. Why can't I think of what blocks have what power ups in it and which is worth which ones are worth going for?
Absolute. The knowledge of where the power ups are is crucial, especially like Super Mario Brothers on the 100% run. It's absolutely, because if you lose a power up, you need to know where to get it back, where it's safe to get a mushroom and a fire flower, so you can still do it as quickly as possible.
Now, do you have a favorite power up of all time? Wow, I can't believe I made that mid conversation.
That was fantastic. Favorite power up? It's gonna have to be the hammer suit in SMB3.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So, there's a lot of people who don't even know it exists because you have to go find it. It is a hidden power-up. There's only one, I think, you can get somewhere in one of the mushroom houses. The hut houses.
Oh, okay.
But it is OP, and if you can carry that hammer suit all the way to the end, it takes like 6 hits to kill Bowser. I was commentating a Super Mario Brothers All-Stars race, one time where they were in SMB3 last, and the guy had a sizable lead, but he lost his power-up, and he had to wait for Bowser through the bricks, and the guy who was behind him with the power-up won the race because he still had Fire Flower.
What is that block?
That is a hidden Kaizo block. Love it. Funny and original is how we call it in the Ramak world.
Oh,
we are dropping left and right.
Hey, it's The Rock.
Oh, I had to get over him.
Yes.
The Rock has to get over. And he's the final boss.
Oh, that's true. He is the boss. And we made it.
There we go. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. Now, with that, I know we said the last level was going to be the end, but we're going to do it on that one. Thank you very much for hanging out with us for this gameplay. Huge thanks to the ElderSpork for hanging out with us this whole episode. Make sure to go listen to the full episode wherever you choose to listen to your podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. ElderSpork, do the thing.
Game over, Marks.
Hey.
Game Marks Podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no Game Shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.